Welcome to the podcast Travel Nursing and Allied Life, hosted by TravCon. My guest today is a speech-language pathologist who has been a traveler since 2010. She has worked in many states over the years, most recently on the Big Island of Hawaii, where she is now. She loves to go for walks with her pride and joy, Puka, her golden doodle, who keeps her active. Her side business is the Traveling Traveler, which teaches therapists how to travel. She is also the powerhouse behind the marketing team at TravCon and a speaker at the conference every year. Last year, she spoke on photography and received quite a few questions on how to grow an online brand, some of which we are planning to cover today. Thank you very much, and welcome to the podcast, Julia Kuhn.
Hey, Michelle. Thank you for having me. It's so great to finally be here. I love the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining. So you're on the Big Island right now of Hawaii. How are you enjoying it?
It's amazing. It's honestly the best place to be during the pandemic because the community is taking all of the mask precautions very seriously. Everyone's very respectful. We have very low community spread. So all things considered, it's a great work environment, great place to be. And I've been able to go on lots of hikes and do lots of adventures with my dog, and my boyfriend who's here too since we've been here. So it's been actually pretty good.
That's fantastic. Do you, as a traveler, you're on a travel position, were you able to get the vaccine where you are?
Yes, I actually just got the second dose yesterday. So I'm doing good. I'm fully vaccinated now. And we're actually going to start vaccinating our over 75 community pretty soon. So we're rolling it out pretty quickly.
Very good. I'm in California. We're about to start on the over 65 population.
Nice.
So we're very lucky to be in where we are. But yeah, I've heard a lot of travelers struggling because they're not lucky enough to receive the vaccine. They're not on staff, and yet they're taking care of patients. So It's certainly an issue that we're going to continue to follow and see how travelers are able to make it through, and if there's anything that we can help connect them with.
Definitely.
But today we're going to be talking about how to build an online brand. And you've been very successful with your Happy Traveler business that's been helping therapists learn how to travel. Can you give us a little bit of insight on how a traveler could go about building a brand of their own to be able to develop some side income?
Well, first of all, I think absolutely anybody listening today could 100% build a brand to develop some side income. And it's just a matter of deciding where you want to do it and being very patient because it takes a lot of time to grow. But you can develop brands in so many different ways. I would focus on maybe having like one place to do what we call more long form content. So for TravCon, the podcast is really our long form content. It's where people come and watch things for half an hour. We also have the Hub, which is something I manage, a blog online. That's some long form content. And we have a YouTube channel, which is long form content. So we kind of have all three. But as a newbie, you might want to think about picking one of those to create long form content, kind of your powerhouse of where you want to hold your information, your really valuable stuff. Then you want to look at other social media sites. Maybe it's Facebook, like a Facebook group. Maybe it's an Instagram page. Maybe it's TikTok. We are loving TikTok right now as a place to grow. And then pick a place on social media you really want to dive into to start developing what's basically your brand. So once you figure out where you're starting on those places, then you're thinking about your mission. And all these other things are coming into line, like who are you? Who are you there for? What kind of travelers or other professionals do you want to speak to? And you want to think of aligning your goals and your mission with who you want to serve and how you want to be of service to them, basically.
Exactly. How did you get started? What was the impetus for you to start the Traveling Traveler?
So I started by complete accident. I saw a need back in 2014 for therapists to have a space to gather online. Back then, there wasn't a place for therapists to have conversations as travelers, just our own space, a place where we felt welcome. So I started a Facebook group for traveling therapists, and I've fostered that group over time, and it now has about 14,000 people in it. And in starting that group, kind of just as fixing a problem, as I saw it, I saw all these other problems arise. Well, now we have the group, but now therapists actually don't really know how to travel, and we're not really able to provide that information in the group. So that's when I started my website, which is the Traveling Traveler, and that's where personally, like, I host all my kind of long form content. All my good information is really on there, and I started putting information out and teaching therapists how to travel. And then as that grew, I started growing in other avenues online too, which is kind of usually how it works. Like, and I just say that to remind people, because you might look at what I have now and you're like, you have like 500 pins a day going up on Pinterest. And like, I search for things and your stuff comes up and you have this and that. And it does not start that way. This
Right.
is a work in progress that takes time. So I started initially with Facebook. It grew to a website, grew to Instagram, grew to Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. Now I'm all over the place. Kind of like TravCon.
That's a lot of energy to be able to do all of that.
Yeah.
So would you suggest that once they develop an idea of what their brand is going to be and what the need is, then to start with probably their most familiar platform and then grow out from there?
Yeah, that's absolutely what I recommend. Start where you're most comfortable, where you feel like you can naturally grow an audience and build from there. And the word in this industry, in the marketing and branding industry, is niche. Like, that's like the key word. Like, what's your niche? Meaning, like, who are you speaking to? Who are you serving? Whose problems are you solving? So you want to think about narrowing down your niche on one social media platform and really going in from there to develop content for them and be an active presence online.
What would you say are a few of your favorite tools that help you with either your artwork? You put really neat artwork together. So your artwork, or maybe an organizational tool that you sort of can plan things up in advance. I know sometimes you queue up things, 5 or 6, you kind of batch things together and it maximizes your time. What are those tools that you like to use?
Yeah, there's so many tools out there now that can help you with time management and scheduling. So I create all of our graphics and my graphics on a website called Canva. It's also an app, and it has pre-made templates for basically a million different things. So I can easily make graphics on there. So you no longer need to be a Photoshop expert to be able to put graphics or content online. You basically have it all pre-made for you, and you can edit and use your colors and fonts and whatever as needed. But I use Canva a lot for our graphics. For scheduling, you can actually do a lot now on the Facebook platform itself. If you have a business page, you can schedule right in their business page to do Facebook and Instagram. I also like Planoly. That's what I use for my stuff and our stuff with TravCon, to plan ahead and batch schedule content. But there's actually so many other good resources out there too. I could name a bunch.
Just for the listeners, so you're not having to scramble too much, we will include all of these links in the notes below. So you can check those after the podcast is done and follow up if any of these are of interest of you. Yeah, I'm really loving Canva. They're definitely very creative, and I've tried to learn some of the more difficult ones over the years, and it's a challenge. Photoshop is a challenge.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
It's a skill I'm trying to pick up now, again, because I'm more advanced. I'm trying to do some specific things, but it's not something I'd recommend to beginners. If you're listening to this and you're thinking, I want to start something, use all the resources that are easy and that are given to you. Don't try to do the more complicated things. It's just going to take up more time than needed.
It does. It syncs up your time. When you're trying to learn something. Some of those programs out there that we're going to list, they are very easy to pick up and learn. Many of them have a free starter package, and then you pay a very small amount if you find out this is the tool you like. You're going to continue for sure.
Yeah, Canva starts with a free version, Planoly starts with a free version, and they're both pretty solid.
At the Traveling Traveler, what do you find are your goals for this coming year? What are the needs that the Traveling Traveler is going to fill?
Oh my gosh, Michelle, now I'm going to give away my secrets. I didn't know you're going to ask me this. I haven't told told this to many people. Couple things I'm looking to fill this year. One is what I have been doing, which is the continuing education for travelers. So I want to continue to educate them online, on social media, on Facebook groups, and I have paid courses and group coaching that people can be a part of to educate them about how to be a traveler and to be a part of the community. That's what I have been doing. That's what I want to continue to do. A couple new things I have planned for this year, and funny, I just said the word plan because I'm going to launch a planner for travelers.
Oh, cool.
Like a plan by 13 weeks, specialized, not digital, but actual physical. Actually, I have so many planners next to me right now because I'm like doing so much like market research for planners. But I want to create a planner that is perfect for travelers. It lets you plan out your assignment, your packing list, your everything. And then the last thing I want to do this year is if we get our restrictions lifted at the end of the year, if we're more mobile, I want to get all of us together and start hosting like some retreats or trips for travelers to just be together again. And I know that goal might not be realistic for 2021, but as soon as we can physically be together, I want to get us together and do something that's memorable and fun.
That's great. If you plan, even though you might have to delay those plans, as soon as things open up, as soon as it's safe, that way you can launch things and be ready to go for those that can do it safely. A lot of us are going to get vaccines pretty quick. So that's exciting, Julia.
Yep. Already in the works. I have all the contracts drawn up, working out like how to book hotels and stuff now. So I'll be ready when the world is ready.
And then hopefully you can be ready with your planner by TravCon in September and have something that people can see and actually look at the conference. That's great.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'll be spending a lot of time on Photoshop because I do want to design it from scratch myself. So it'll be a lot of work, but fun.
Yeah, very good. Where can travelers look to get more information for the Happy Traveler and for some other resources that you might know about?
You can look at my website, which is thetravelingtraveler.com. My Instagram is @thetravelingtraveler_. My Facebook group for therapists is called Travel Therapy Therapist, kind of a tongue twister, have those words in there all for search reasons. I'm also on TikTok, actually under my name, Julia Kuhn SLP. And I just joined Clubhouse, and that's under my name too, Julia Kuhn, if anyone wants to check me out there.
You were always on the edge of things, Julia.
Trying to be.
That's fantastic. And Julia, what advice do you have for new travelers starting out wanting to launch their own brand?
I would say just go for it and do it. Don't think about it too much, just do it. And consistency is key. If you listen to all the things they say and all the things everyone else says, you might think this is too hard, I can't do it. You need to get started somewhere. Start with one social media account or one website or one podcast and go from there. It takes time and consistency and also knowing your audience and being able to help them and solve problems for them, and also just be yourself and be authentic. So I think if you yourself are committed to doing this, you can see it through. And we've seen so many successes out there. I love seeing all the travel nurse brands and travel therapy brands that are coming up, and they're teaching other therapists and other nurses how to travel, and it's helping our industry a lot. I know TravCon's really excited about it. We definitely want to support creators in any way we can. I know I run the kind of blog, it's called the TravCon Hub for our website. And if anybody wants to write a piece for that, we're more than happy to take new writers in on our end to help get your name out there. So it's just really exciting. And I would definitely say for newbies, don't give up. It takes time and consistency. You have to show up every day and do the work to see a payout.
You're right on the money there. Just to take it slow, but to jump in with both feet and just commit to doing it.
Yeah.
It's something that will take time as you build, like you say. But if it's something you enjoy, if it's something you believe in, there's so much good content out there, and everybody's got their own spin on it. Everybody's got their own design. And it's really neat to listen to how different people can contribute to the traveler world. So
Absolutely. Just because somebody has a similar account or a similar website, that doesn't mean you can't do your own thing. You're always going to be uniquely different from the person next to you. So uh, honestly, I just always try to stay in my own lane for that reason. Like I try not to look side to side and see what other people are doing or try to be affected by what other people are saying about my work, because I know I'm doing my thing. I'm serving the people who follow my work, and that's all I can think about. So it can be discouraging to think like, well, it's already been done, or there's a lot of people out there, but there's not you. So there's always more room to get started.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Be uniquely different.
Yeah.
You know, and you'll shine. It's your own brand. It's your own self. We'll put down in the notes the contact information if you want to write something, write an article for the blog or for the hub. And you're very welcome to do that. We're happy to be an avenue for travelers to get their word out there, get their content out there, spread their own brand. That's just part of what we're trying to help with travelers, spreading the word.
Yeah. I'm excited. If anyone emails me, I'll be excited to hear any pitch ideas you have about writing for our blog. And I think the cool thing about, like, say, writing for us and getting to work with me and writing a blog is, we're very forgiving for like first timers or newbies. And whereas other places might expect like different levels of just professionalism because they want people who've been doing it for a long time, we accept that. We're going to try to kind of help you maybe a little bit, like twerk your work and make it more standardized for the internet and be helpful. So we definitely support like any first timers, anyone who hasn't written anything in the past. You can come on and write for us on the hub, and we'll gladly accept it.
So true. I mean, TravCon's motto is by travelers for travelers. It was created by travelers. It's still supported and run by travelers. So it's very much meant to help the travel industry. So we highly encourage you to do that.
Yeah, and we definitely support creating just better content and better leaders. And it's nice to be a part of something with that mission.
Exactly. We hope that you'll see everyone else in Vegas this year. Our conference will be in September. We're really keeping fingers crossed that things will be looking up. Certainly looking hopeful that a lot of people will be vaccinated by then, so that's good. But if you want to get more information, find us at www.travcon.org is our website. You'll find all our information on the hub, the podcast, the conference. It's all on that website. We look forward to hearing from you. Leave us a comment in the notes below if you want to hear about any other things, or if you want to get a hold of Julia at The Traveling Traveler. Thanks, Julia. You have a great day.
Michelle. Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.